Hi you guys, welcome to my little paintbrush. My name is Miss Cami and I'm excited you're here at the easel with me. We're going to paint some of our favorite squishy friends. I'm really hopeful that you have our paint kit because if you do, you don't have to do anything but follow me. You should have a prepped canvas, you'll have all the same paints I'm using, you'll also have brushes and a paper towel and a palette to put your paints on. The only thing you need to grab is some water. I've got 2 jars of water here, which I suggest having 2. That way you always have clean water available to you and you can use the clean water to dilute your paint instead of the murky water. That'll change the brightness of your paint. Okay, you'll also have some of our favorite size brushes with you. You'll have this number 12 flat, which is just awesome. It's a great size for lots of artists. You'll have a number 6 round and you'll have a number 2 detail. Those are our favorite sizes and typically the only ones we use to create with. If you don't have our paint kit, no worries. You can grab our pattern, prep a surface, or you can just grab a piece of paper or a canvas and freehand this with me. I'm sure that you would be awesome at that too. So we're just excited you're here to paint and we're gonna get started. Let me show you how I like to lay my paints out. I like to separate my white into 3 piles. This helps keep your white fresh and not contaminate it when you're mixing colors. And then I've separated all my other colors so that I can use them when needed and mix them and they've got some space between them. This is my favorite way to do it. Remember, you can switch up colors as you paint. So if you want a purple background or a yellow background, you do you. Okay, we're just here to have a good time and paint our very favorite squishy friends together. So let's get started. I'm gonna grab my flat brush. I'm gonna get it wet because our paint always gets thirsty. Tap or kind of wipe the excess water out so you don't have drips. And my background is going to be a really light turquoise, which you're probably saying, where is the turquoise? Believe it or not, the phthalo green pulls beautiful cool tones and we'll get a really cool turquoise out of it if we just use the teeniest bit. Look, when I say teeny, I mean like hardly anything, and some white. So I'm gonna mix those together and you see what I'm getting is a lovely turquoise shade. This will only pull warm if you add warm tones to it. So some yellow would pull it into like more of a limey green. We are going to go in the cool tones because that's what I want and I love it. And let's just dive right in. We're gonna fill in our background, which is actually just the teeniest space. I mean, it's not that big. If you're using a wrapped canvas, wrap those edges. We love to encourage that. It really completes your piece and then you can display it when you're done and it's all finished and the edges look nice. I am painting on a mixed media paper, so I don't have edges, but I will say this, I always wrap my edges when I'm painting on canvas. So the best way to think of it and how I explain it to really little artists is I tell them your canvas is your present and your picture's the wrapping paper. So if you were to wrap your canvas, your paper would go around the edges. So you carry your picture around the edges as if it were wrapping paper. So the background is only going to go over the top and then like over our sides just to where our background ends. So wrap your canvas. All right, we're going to do our best to stay out of our little friends while we paint our background, but it's okay if we get some in our background or in our characters, some of our background in our characters. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's fine. Don't panic. We're not here to panic or be super concerned. We're here to create and have a good time. All right, so got that all in. If you have some of these darker and lighter tones kind of streak off, let that happen. That's super fun. We love that. Just roll with it. Before I wash my brush, I'm actually going to dive into my dinosaur and it's got this same green and white in it. So I'm just gonna get my brush wet. And like I said earlier, this is going to pull warm if I add warm tones to it. So I'm going to grab some of this yellow and I'm gonna mix it in my turquoise, my light turquoise color. You see what's happening here? We're gonna start to make the green body of our dinosaur. Now, might need to add some more green and some yellow, but I'm using the same pile that my background was. This will save me space on my plate too if I don't use, you know, more piles. I'm just mixing right where I was. And look, I'm getting this beautiful, look how beautiful that green is. I'm kind of getting all that turquoise in there that I can from my background. Beautiful green shade. I love greens. Green was my wedding color. Green is beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna paint our dino. Look at this color. It's the best. I'm gonna go around those little horns and things. Okay, so here's a tip that's super important. Your paint will dry a shade or two darker on your surface than it appears on your plate or your palette if you want to be fancy. So many times when I teach, everybody's like, but that color's so dark, because they mixed it on their plate and they thought it was going to be a certain shade, and then they get it on canvas and they're like, whoa, that is much darker than I thought. If this is happening to you, just stop and add some white and lighten it right up. Now I'm trying the best I can to get around this little white horn without getting green in it, but clearly I did, and it's totally fine. The other tip I'll give you is white is our strongest pigmented paint, which always surprises people. You would think it would be black, but it's not, it's white. And so it gives us great coverage. So if you're like, man, my green seems really thin, I'm gonna need all these layers to get it right. Maybe it's too dark and you need to add some white, because once you do, you'll get better coverage. And in some cases, depending on the artist, how much paint we're using, how thinned out our paint is, you just might need more layers. And that's fine. All you would do is you would let this first layer dry, you would pause me, and you would put another layer on it, okay? So no big deal. All right, here is our fantastically green dinosaur. Okay, I'm gonna keep going without washing my brush. I know this is just like, what? We're going so long without washing our brush. But if we're in the same family, I'm just gonna avoid it, because, I mean, I'm all about getting stuff done, right? And if I'm going too fast for you, pause this video. Just turn me off for a second and get what you need to done. I'm going to take this brush that's full of my dinosaur color, and I'm gonna go into that dark green and put a little corner, little edge of my brush in it. See, just the tiniest bit. Brush it through so it's got a good blend. And then I'm gonna take that little bitty edge and I'm gonna come do a little bit of shadowing. See, I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna, might need a little bit more actually, so you can see what the heck I'm doing. I'm gonna take this, there we go. And look, I'm gonna go to the dinosaur and be like, hey, there's a little shadow. And I've got a clump, so let me, you know, just use my fingers because they're tools too. And I'm just shadowing. See my little shadow? Okay, so where else am I gonna shadow? Up here. Look, I'm using all my bristles. Okay, oh my gosh, whenever I teach this technique, people think, well, if I'm just putting paint on the corner of my brush, I'm only gonna use the corner of my brush. No, 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 okay? You're using the corner and you're pulling all your bristles so that you get that faded look. It's called floating. We're floating two colors into each other. Okay, so use all your bristles. Okay, I'm gonna actually also give a little shadow around this fun little horn. I'm gonna use all the wrong terms. And all the kids are going to be like, she doesn't know her dinosaurs. And I don't, okay? That's the truth. The truth is I don't know my dinosaurs. But you do, and that's what's important. So you call what it is, and that's fine. I'm going to go down because we're going to shadow each other, right? Our dog is in front. So we're going to shadow. You can have a really strong shadow that really stands out. You can have a really light shadow that's just barely there. I mean, at the end of the day, this is your painting, so that's what's great. And we're going to go under what I'm going to call another horn, but I bet it has a special word, a special name. You can leave it in the comments below, okay? I would love to hear it. I will Google it after. I probably should have Googled it before, but I didn't. Because, you know, life. But look, we shadowed. How fun. And not as hard as you thought, right? Okay, not washing our brush yet. Here we go. Let's go over to the green and the yellow, and we're going to make the dark color that goes on the top of our dino. I'm going to call this the bumpy head of the dino. There's a name for that too. Somebody figure that out. Okay, so yellow and green. I want this to just be a dark green, okay? But I want it to pull lime because the body is lime, right? Let's be friends and match. I've got white on my brush. See how I'm mixing that white I already have in my brush into, I'm just like, and I might grab some of this over here and add that too, because remember I said coverage comes from white paint. All right, got a darker green I like. Now, let's fill this in. My paintbrush is feeling quite dry now. It's gone through a lot, so I'm gonna dip it in the water, mix water into my paint. Okay. Always, always, always checking on that. Now, here's what I'm thinking as I'm sitting here. I don't want to do this whole thing with this flat. I'm going to switch to my number 6 round, okay? So let's do that. Because I don't want to go around. That's just too, I could, but we're going to make life simpler for us, okay? And we're going to go up and around, just like that. Okay, and then got the ear of our puppy here. We don't want to invade, right? No, we want to stay in our lane here. Okay, darker colors will always need more layers. So if you're painting this and you're going, wow, that's not getting great coverage, then what you need to do is not worry about it. Put in one nice layer and just plan on coming back to it. No problem. Okay? This is when doing paintings at home with a tutorial is great because you can just pause me anytime. You can say, I need to do another layer, so I'm going to pause and I'm going to come back to it, and it's no problem. And here's the thing with where I'm at. I have so many lights around me, okay? Literally, I'm shining brightly behind me here. And so my paint is drying at like a super speedy rate. And so I can come through and do another layer because my paint's literally already dry. All the lights are drying it fast. For you, that's not going to be the case most likely. And you might live somewhere that's really dry or somewhere that's really humid, somewhere that's hot, somewhere that's cold. It just, everything depends. So that's why it's important to just go at your pace and pause it if you need to, okay? But there we go. I'm just gonna clean up this little corner where my ear is. Look at that. We're gonna wash brushes now. Now we can wash both brushes. We've got one more step that I wanna do real quickly on my dino before I move on to my puppy. Swish, swish, swish. You can hear that probably. You want to keep those brushes clean. Clean, clean, clean. Swish, swish, swish. All right, let's focus on the belly of our dino, okay? I'm just gonna get white paint. Our canvas is white, so I don't need to spend like a ton of time. I just wanna wet the surface, okay? Wetting the surface of the belly. Just like so. And then I'm gonna do that fun floating technique, go corner in my light green. Can we see this? I always gotta check all the screens to make sure you can see. Corner of light green, and then I'm gonna put that in my belly. Whoop. Just a nice fade into the belly. Guys, why are dinosaurs so cute? I don't know, but they just are. Fantastic. Let's wash. Swish around. How you doing? How you doing there at home? Are you feeling amazing? I hope you are. I think that you should show us your paintings because my favorite part is seeing everybody's different results because we're all painting the same thing, but none of them are going to be the same. That's what's so cool. Okay, puppy time. Let's get a nice huge scoop of white and move it over to our brown. And let's make a light brown, guys. Light brown, okay, right? Light brown. Now, if you're feeling kind of crazy, you can add a touch of yellow into this brown. That's wild. But the brown, to me, pulls pink. And I like to turn that into more of an orange, okay? So I like to add a touch of yellow, but, you know, you do you. You do you. And here's the thing, our younger artists, that would be a little complicated, all right? They would be like, yellow, brown, that's too much. So if it's too much, just pretend I didn't say that, okay? Ooh. Drip in. I'm just making sure it's light. You can see I just keep adding white because I know, okay, it's going to dry a little darker on my canvas, so I'm just going to veer on the light side. Okay, once you have the color that makes your heart happy, we're going to go ahead and fill it in. Okay, we got these nice. Oh, did I tell you I switched to my flat brush again? I don't think I did, but you can see. Right? You can see that's the brush I'm using. It's actually my favorite. I love using flat brushes for as much as I can. I just love them. In fact, there are paintings that I just never switch my brush on because, you know, it's kind of a fun challenge too to be like, can I paint this whole thing without switching my brush? And then you can kind of see. Some people will not think that's a fun challenge, but that's the nerdy artist in me going, ooh, let's see what we can do. This little puppy is mostly white, so we don't have a ton of work to do here, folks. But oh my gosh, it's cute. Cute as can be. So we get those little patches around the eyes in, right? Looking fantastic. This is when you can switch your brush, go back to your round, pop that in the water, grab our round and say, okay, I want to use the smaller round for the ears, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we go. Come up in here and go around. Remember what I said about layers and how much paint you might need versus me? It's only about the individual artist. It's not about what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Why do I need 2 layers and she needs 1? Why does she need 2 layers and I need 1? It's super individual, okay? So if you're painting along and you're like, I need another layer. We all load our brush differently. We paint differently. Our paint's diluted differently. So personalize the experience to you, okay? Oh my gosh, these ears are fun, aren't they? Look at that. Look at our puppy. Okay, so let's see, where are we at? Okay, what I want to do now is I want to do some floating. Now, floating is great. I'm just washing my, I probably popped out of the screen for a minute because I got to get to my jars, okay? Listen, we're learning, okay? So I'm gonna do some more floating. So I'm gonna switch back to this flat brush. I got my light brown, dab the corner, and my dark brown. This is why it's so important when you mix colors, not to be like, oh, I'm supposed to mix white and brown. I'm gonna get all my white and all my brown. No, we wanna do little bits at a time, always, okay? So we got that. Let's go ahead and give this puppy a shadow. What was I saying about wet on wet? That's what I was saying. You want to do any kind of blending or floating, wet paint on wet paint when it comes to acrylic paints. Why? They will only blend wet on wet. Once your paint dries, your opportunity to blend is over and you have to re-wet your surface. Not a huge deal because you can do that. There's always another option, but you know, this is why we're like, okay, time to shadow, time to float. Okay, so we got that in there. Ooh, I'm looking up at my big screen and it's looking fantastic. Let's do the other side. Again, just like I said with the dinosaur, some of us are gonna get like really thick shadowing, and some of us might be like, I can barely see mine. Just keep working at it until you're like, that's what I like. Maybe you want to barely see it. Maybe you want to see it strong. Here's the thing. You are the one that looks at your painting, okay? And you're the one that's going to judge it. So you need to do what you love. If you want a nice thick shadow and that makes your heart happy, and you love to look at your painting with a nice thick shadow, then you should do a nice thick shadow. Not because I did it. You do you. See how I'm kind of going over things multiple times too? Sometimes you have to do that. I love it. Little tidbit. We've taught artists of all ages for many years. Floating is very difficult for little kiddos, okay? I would say under 8 years old, it's a really hard concept to grasp. So if you're painting with a little, or if you are a little, outline that. Just get your little brush and outline with the brown and don't try and float, okay? Now I'm gonna do the ears. Ooh, I think I'm gonna stick with my flat, even though it's a bit scary. I'm going to try, because I think if I tilt my flat kind of on an angle, I can get in there without getting into the white part of my ear. I did it. I did it. So here we go on this side. Same thing. Kind of slant your brush a little and it might happen for you. How cute is this puppy? I love it. Okay. Let's wash that brush out. Swish it around. Hopefully you're loving your puppy too. We're gonna do the same thing we did on the belly of the dinosaur here in our puppy. So I'm gonna get white paint. Same thing. Don't spend a ton of time with this. Your canvas is white. What are you doing? You're wetting your surface because We can only blend wet into wet. So get that on there. Miss Sarah, can you bring me my water? I have a tickle in my throat, and I have a very awful like PTSD with tickles in my throat from when I was teaching a year ago. And I had, thank you, and I had to leave the stage and hide because I had a coughing attack. So thankfully Miss Sarah's in the background and can bring me a drink. Otherwise I would have to say, Sarah, finish my painting. That's what I did a few years ago when I just ran off the stage. And I couldn't even talk, you guys. I just handed the mic to Miss Sarah. I didn't even say anything to her. I just handed her the mic and I left. And she was like, okay, I guess I'm teaching. Okay, let's finish our puppy before I die of a coughing attack. Light brown on one corner, and we're gonna shadow. Because we gotta get finished, right? And although I know Miss Sarah would rock this painting and finish it just fine, I believe she does not want to do that right now. I believe she would be like, really, again? I don't know what it is. Maybe, is it the paint? Am I breathing in fumes? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't smell anything. Maybe it's this old building I'm in. Come and do a little forehead. Ooh, see how that step just kind of closes in our puppy. Just separates it, right? Okay, wash the brush. Oh, we are so close to the details where we like do the faces and stuff. That's such a good part. Okay. I'm okay. I think I'm gonna get through it, Sarah. Don't you worry.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Lots of sips. Keep sipping.
I'm gonna keep sipping. My water.
If Cammie just flies off camera.
And if there's a pause where I just disappear, know that that's normal for us. And I'll be back shortly. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do purple. Grab a scoop of purple. I'm trying so hard. I am doing my bestest. We're really close. We're really close. I believe that miracles happen.
Now I'm coughing.
And my cough is causing a ripple effect.
It's like hiccups.
I know, it's contagious. Okay, so make a light purple for our last little octopus, okay? Our only octopus. Now I'm losing all brain cells, okay? All brain cells have gone with this PTSD fear that I'm gonna have another coughing attack. It's fine, it's totally fine. Okay, so get up close to your puppy, not in your puppy. All right, we just worked hard on our puppy. So yeah, nice light purple. I think it's so fun. These colors together are just like unexpected. And I love that. Okay. Guys, it just keeps creeping up. But stay strong, Cammie, stay strong. Okay, so then you've got the little, I believe these are octopus legs here on the bottom. Little bumps down here. I'm in love. Okay, here we go. Let's float. We've got our dark purple over here. Again, to all the little artist outline, right? We're gonna do what works for us. This is on the farthest side for me, so my base might be really close to you, all right? And then you'll get a nice, good view of me. So that's fun for you. Shadow alongside our little puppy friend. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Guys, as these paintings come together, it's just like, yes, yes, I love. Okay, down here, we're gonna give some dark purple here. Again, this might be darker for some, lighter for some. Gosh, that's why I love to see your paintings, because everybody's turns out different and it's just fun. It's fun to see. And a little bit of you comes out onto the canvas too. Like a little bit of your personality always shows, and that's fun. Okay, oh my gosh, look at us go. Look at this painting come together. Remember, pausing is okay. It's totally acceptable. If you're like, too fast, pause, 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 it's fine. Little white. We're doing the same thing on the belly. Wet your surface. Little kiddos, you can just leave your belly white and not do the little floating in the belly. That's okay. Edge in the light purple. You know, because here's the thing. These paintings can be perfect for all ages. They can be the best painting for a little 5-year-old who loves their squishy friends. This could be a great painting for adults who are obsessed. We have those too. And it could just be, you decide the difficulty level of it, okay? Alrighty. I think I'm gonna make it. I'm really excited about that. I did not want Sarah to finish my painting. This is mine. I want to be the one to do it. I'm gonna get my detail brush in white paint, and I'm gonna clean up my little horns over here. Okay, because I got a little crazy with the green, and honestly, this little horn is hard to stay out of because it's just little and it's hard to get around. I'm gonna clean this one up too, especially if you see like pencil marks. Typically, your pencil mark will be light enough that you'll fill it up and you won't see it. When I do these tutorials, we put the pencil mark on darker so that the camera picks it up. So, you know, there's that too. All right, friends, it's time for some fun. Not that we haven't been having fun, but it's time for more fun. I'm gonna get my big brush, my flat. I'm gonna go to my black paint and I'm gonna use the bottom of it, okay? So you see, bottom of my brush, I'm gonna add some water because this black paint has been hanging out and these lights are drying it right up. So I am gonna add a water to it. Add a water. See, I can't even talk. Okay, because all I'm thinking about is water. 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 Give me water. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Okay. I'm really fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. So see, I'm making chocolate chips on the bottom of my brush, or meringue. You know, if you bake pies, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. You want that pokey thing. Okay. So here we go with some eyeballs. We're going to swirl, 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 swirl. All right. And I'm a little shaky. I'm not going to lie. I had a little too much caffeine. So my swirl, I can't wait for eyelashes.
We need more water.
Water, hydrate me. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get my eyeballs to line up, okay? Because that would make sense, right? The thing that's so cute about this dino is you've got, I think I did pretty good, yeah. You've got these eyeballs. They're tiny. And then you have these other bigger features. That's animation at its finest. You pick features to do big, and then you pick features to do small. Okay, here we do. Here we do. Here we go. This is fine. And we're all going to make it. And I hope that you're enjoying yourself. Okay, we're going to do it on our octopus friend. If your purple is still super wet, let it dry first. Mine's pretty much dry. She or he is kind of slanted, so we're going to slant the eyes a little bit too, like so. Okay, oh, we made it. We made it. All is well. All is well. Okay, wipe the bottom of your brush off so you don't stab yourself with black paint, get it all over your shirt or something like that. Nobody wants that. Okay, so I'm going to load my detail brush. Why do we call our smallest brush a detail brush? Well, it's for details. And if we're not nice to our detail brush, it gets bad hair days. And if it has a bad hair day, no bueno. Doesn't do well for us, okay? So, water down that black paint with some water. I'm really into water. Water down your black paint with water, okay? Get a drink of water. Don't drink your paint water. And then we're going to put a nose in our puppy, okay? This is an oval. And it's just in between our little patches. If you guys think that what's happening right now as we paint is just an off day, I want you to know it's not. This is very normal. Okay, nothing is easy for us. It's always exciting. Something's always happening. And it's okay. All right, so we got our little nose in, and then we're gonna give him a little smile. Okay, so I want you to come down the middle and curve. Oh my gosh, details are the best. So cute. So cute. Okay, we'll put a little tongue on him in a minute. Let's do the eyes. The puppy is asleep. Living his best life or her best life. Guys, in your painting, the gender is up to you, okay? Let's go. Let's try and line this up. I'm doing this backwards. So just be kind. How did I do? Hey. Nice. Okay, so a few eyelashes. By few, I mean 2. This is a real depiction of how we feel, right? We feel like we only have 2. So does this little puppy. Okay, so go 1, 2, again, backwards. Little trickier, but we did pretty good. All right, now let's move on to our smiles over here. Octopus is happy. They're all happy. They're happy to be here. But I always tell the kids or the artist, if you have a sad character in your painting, there's no problem with that. If you're feeling a little angry in life and you want to just show that in your painting, you do you. Okay. Wash that brush good. Guys, almost there. Hang in there. Okay, we're going to give our puppy a little tongue. Remember I said this brown pulls kind of pink? It does. We're going to mix some white and brown together. This had the yellow in it. We're not going to use the yellow. We're going to just mix this and give it just a little tongue. Okay. Just like that. Oh, yeah. Looking cute. Okay. Wash that off again. Okay. Let's put some white on our detail brush and highlight our nose. Just do a frowny face right on the nose. Look at that. Highlights. What do I say? Highlights wake up your painting. Okay, let's go back to our flat. I'm getting it all clean and in my clean water. And I'm gonna drag my fingers down it. I want some water, but not a ton. I'm gonna go to some clean white, put the edge of my brush, so all that's on my brush is white and water, okay? And I'm gonna highlight, oh my gosh, watch what happens. We're gonna go over the top of Dino, right? All the bristles, this is just like floating. We're just floating with water and white paint though, okay? Let's go over our cute little, what did I call this in the beginning? I didn't call it what it is, but these little bumps. Okay, go over it again if you need to get a much smoother. Oh, see, the caffeine shakes are real. Okay, look how we just start to wake up this painting. Okay, add more water when needed. The water is what's going to give it that faded look. Okay, we're going to go up in the ears of our puppy. Light. Always find an opportunity to add light to your paintings. Always. Every time I teach and we get to highlights, the little kids say, "Do I have to do highlights, Miss Cammy?" And do you know what my answer is? No, you don't. Because at the end of the day, it's your painting. But I always follow it up with, however, you should. You don't have to, but you should, because it makes a difference. Okay, then over the forehead of our cute octopus. See? Light. I'm going to come down here too. Add a little light. Oh. Mental note. no more caffeine before you do a tutorial, right? Not good. Guys, look at this. Okay. We want our little black eyes to be dry. So mine are mostly dry. I think they're dry enough for me to do this step, so I'm going to do it. If yours are wet, give yourself a minute. Little detail brush. Using the bottom again, making that chocolate chip. And look, just the tiniest. Oh, this is the best part of any painting. That little reflection of light in the eyes shows you where they're looking. And of course our octopus, they're both looking at Puppy in the middle. Look at that. If you're feeling like you want to highlight the tongue, you can add a little white. Because, I mean, we can be highlight happy. Guys, look at this masterpiece. It's amazing. Let's sign our name. What should we do? What should we do? Brown. I'm feeling brown. Get your detail brush. Sign your name. Why do we sign our paintings? Because it's our mark. It tells the world, I created this, I'm proud of this, and you should be. You should be. Okay, so where should I sign my name? This is kind of tricky because of all this equipment around me, but here we go. I'm going to sign it right here. You can sign it however you want, wherever you want. Whole name, first name, initials. This is you. This is you. You do it the way you want. You guys, please share your videos, not your videos. Share your paintings with us. If you recorded yourself, you can share your video as well. We would love to see it. We would love to see whatever you've created today. I'm just going to sip my water. Thank you for creating with me. I hope you had a fun time, because I did. I hope you love your painting, and I hope that you join us again. You never know what's going to happen. So come back, paint with us. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.